Expect the unexpected, innovate with your mind, and achieve with all your might. Xpecto. Expect, innovate, and achieve.
Good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of the entire Xpecto crew, I would like to extend a warm and respectful welcome to the Director IIT Mandi, Dr. Laxmidhar Behara, our esteemed Chief Guest, Shri H.P. Srivastava, all our streaming viewers, and the IIT Mandi family.
Today marks the onset of the very first independent TechFest by IIT Mandi, and we are proud to be able to host it here with all of you. As we shift from virtual and online interactions to real and physical interactions, we are scaling up our inquisitiveness for tech and innovations.
SNTC IIT Mandi, in association with Mutrex, is thrilled to announce Xpecto 2022, our very own first ever technical fest, scaled up to have the most electrifying events, amazing innovations, incorporated with mesmerizing outlooks, brainstorming pursuits, and grand rewards. Each technical club has some exciting events calling out the best of ideas and innovations in the participants. To make this evening a blessed one, we invoke Goddess Saraswati by kindling the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. For seeking the choicest blessings for the same, in the auspicious presence of our chief guest, Dr. H.P. Srivastava, I invite our director, Dr. Behara, Dean Students, Dr. Thakur, Chair SAP, Mr. Srimali, Chair SNTC, Dr. Gopi Shrikant Reddy, and Tushar Jain, Head and Faculty in charge of Continuing Education, to kindle the lamp and mark the beginning of this auspicious evening. Sir, can we please have you on stage?
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम् कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेच्छतं समाः एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे असूर्यानाम ते लोका अन्धेन तमसा वृताः तांस्ते प्रेत्याभिगच्छन्ति ये के चात्महनो जनाः अनेजदेकं मनसो जवियो नैन देवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतो अन्यान् हत्येति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नपो मातरिष्वा दधाति।
We request you all to kindly stand up for the national anthem.
We would like to invite our convener, Paras Jain, to welcome our esteemed guest and our audience.
Hello everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the inauguration ceremony of the very first independent technical fest of IIT Mandi, Xpecto. On this auspicious occasion, we are grateful to have distinct personalities among us. With this said, I would like to introduce today's chief guest, Dr. Babu Srivastav. Dr. Hari is an IIT Roorkee and IIT Kanpur alumni and took over as a Director of Electronics and Computer Science of DRDO headquarters. He is currently Director General of OS and SCH. Now, we have our Honorable Director, Dr. Laxmidhar Behara, with us, whose vision and inspiration have enlightened us to organize this fest. Taking the colossal form where more than 6,000 students where more than 6,000 students from all over India have joined us in different events. Now, I would like to welcome Dean Students, Dr. Manoj Thakur, Chair SAP, Dr. Hitesh Srimali, Chair SNTC, Dr. G. Shrikant Reddy, Dr. Tushar Jain, Head and Faculty in charge of Continuing Education, all the club faculty advisors, and all the faculty members. Without their guidance and coordination, this fest would never have been able to reach this height. It is an honor for us to have you all today and grace this occasion with your enlightening presence. Friends, this is a moment of grace and pride for us that after continuous dedication, planning, and efforts from our seniors and alumni, we now are able to host IIT Mandi's first TechFest. Henry Ford, founder of Ford Motor Company and a renowned business magnate, believed coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. Taking inspiration from this quote, a number of students have worked together in collaboration, put their extra efforts, and have left no stone unturned in organizing this fest. Organizing a fest at the inter-college level wasn't easy for us, but constant efforts from the team and faculty helped us to outgrow all the odds and bring out the best uh, in us. Xpecto aims at bringing all the tech talents from all over India together under one umbrella and giving them an opportunity to showcase their talent on a larger platform and to a larger audience. In this 3-day fest, starting from today itself, we are hosting 18 events, 2 workshops, webinars, key talks, and a lot more wherever we are coming together to not only learn and enjoy, but also share our knowledge. With this, I would like to welcome each one of you and honor us by being a part of our legacy. I am really grateful to everyone playing a big small part in this fest. I am sure that you all will feel enriched with knowledge after completing this fest. I welcome you all once again to this technical gathering and hope that Xpecto keeps scaling the heights like IIT Mandi with your kind cooperation and blessings. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Paras, for your warm welcome. Dr. Laxmidhar Behara, our esteemed director and mentor, has been assisting us in our academic development as well as in enhancing our creativity, knowledge, and illuminating our path in various aspects of life. Professor Behara has contributed significantly to areas such as intelligent systems and control, vision based robotics, warehouse automation, brain computer interface, and drone based pipeline inspection system. Sir, we would be privileged if you could share a few words of wisdom with us.
Respected Dr. S.B. Srivastav, DG DRDO, my esteemed colleagues, and my dear students. It is a joyful situation that to see that you have tremendous spirit to organize this event. TechFest, what you have termed as Xpecto. And you know that whenever some country they organize Olympic, you expect them to do well. They are already doing very well in the sports and befitting that they organize. Similarly, if you are doing a TechFest, I would expect you are good at technology, not simply in organizing. That should be the spirit. You should be too good in all aspects of technology and science and technology. And I personally invite all of you to join the effort to create an ecosystem where we are engaged constructively in engaging in science and technology. In this regard, you will soon get a letter and you have to show your interest. The first, we are taking two initiatives. One is the Robotics and Ai Initiative, where our students should be able to participate in international events. And we will have a summer course or summer training session for it. Hopefully within a month, the competition arena will be ready. And some of you will come and learn the traits of being in competition, understanding the technology, understanding the research challenges. And some of the students, my students from IIT Kanpur, they are coming to organize this mentorship program for all of you. And our own faculty as a mentor, they will be also involved there. And second initiative is the design practicum course that you all have done, particularly those who are third year, fourth year. So we are creating a foundation of design practicum where you will have experience of working from CNC machine to 3D printer to PCB fabrication to integrate the sensors, the motors, programming Arduino board, and finally building a autonomous, let's say autonomous robot or autonomous door controlled from a smartphone, let's say. So basically what I would like that not only that you take a degree from here, but you should be also abreast with the technology that we are using, that is coming to the market. We are also organizing a student program for the Himachali students, where 100 students will be selected. They will have a summer camp here. And I would like you to mentor them. So this mentorship program we are creating, where the final year student guide the third year guide to second year guide the first year. I create, and it is not only the subjects that I mentioned, only in that, every aspect of science and technology, we should have this kind of ecosystem where seniors guide the juniors and we create a healthy relationship. I was the consultant to DJI Webmaster, RoboMaster AI Challenge and I have been in Shenzhen during August 2019, and I was amazed to see that in their mentorship program, the school students who were working on a problem, when I interacted, some of them, they said they have used model predictive control. Some of them, they said they have used extended Kalman filtering based tracking. They are all school students. And, you know, to be frank enough, our IIT students, even they pass out, you know, they have got a degree, they cannot even say what is the extended Kalman filter based tracking or model predictive control, or, you know, there are many core topics they have learned because the ecosystem has not been there. We don't want to be competitive as far as technology is concerned, but our competitiveness is there in management. I would like our students to come out of that doldrum and take initiative, learn whatever, you know. It is not that you have to learn the basics in the beginning. You learn, like, you know, for example, I asked them, how did you get an interest to know ECAP based visual tracking or model predictive control for trajectory tracking of the robot? So they said, no, once we got the problem, from that problem we generated interest, and we looked at varieties of solution, and then we entered into the topic and we learned, and there are mentors, they were there to guide us. If school students could do it, what about you? You should scale the height that is incomprehensible as of now. And I would like to see that you will be in the same pace and take this IIT Mandi to really in the path of excellence, culture of excellence in science and technology. So with that, I congratulate all of you. I congratulate all of you for putting very hard work. And I would like to see that we are becoming a storehouse or a repository of technocrats here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. That was indeed motivating. Can we please have another huge round of applause? Xpecto 2022 has been dignified by the esteemed and distinguished Director General of OS and SCH, Dr. H.P. Srivastava, having accepted to be our chief guest. He has also served as the Director of LASTEC, Electronics and Computer Science at DRDO headquarters. Dr. Srivastava is an IIT Roorkee and IIT Kanpur alumni, also being a lifetime member of the Optical Society of India, the Instrument Society of India, and a former Joint Secretary of the ISOI National Executive. Sir, I would like to request you to please address us with a few wise words.
Thank you. Are you able to hear me? Can you confirm that?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay.
Audible.
Okay, all right. Professor Behara, Director IIT Mandi, the deans, faculty members, and the students of IIT Mandi and all the participating institutions. A very good evening to all of you. My congratulations for organizing this kind of a the function, the kind of work that you people have proposed. I have gone through the literature that you sent to me, and I must really compliment the planning part, and I am sure since you planned well, you will execute well as well. I must also thank you for inviting me to be with you and share some of my thoughts. So let me utilize next 10 to 15 minutes for giving what I think as students you should do or you should not do. The first thing is the organization of this kind of event, that is Xpecto. It has actually multiple uh, things that can actually enhance your performance. And as I said, the planning is that's definitely that what you have done. Good work you have done in planning. Execution, and this execution will happen through collaborations and cooperation and coordination. So if you do a good coordination, you collaborate well, you cooperate with each other, I am sure you are going to come out with flying colors. You will do this very well, even though there are competitions, but competitions need not lead to differences. They will lead to excellence. So that is the spirit I am sure you people will bring out through this competition, trying to work out in next whatever 2 or 3 days that we will have these functions. Friends, the world is changing very fast. The technology is changing even faster. On one hand, societies are connected through social media, transformed by information technology, the revolution that is happening every information technology. On the other hand, there is a lot of echo coming from. There are two people are joined from same locations, and the IT team will see that if there is any issue that they can fix up. So on one hand, I was saying there are tools available for you to connect everywhere. On the other hand, there are denial regimes, and what can be denied. Maybe if you mute your mic, probably this may go. IIT Mandi can mute the mic.
Mute the mic from the laptop, from where you are operating.
Your computer is picking up the signals and they're trying to transmit from your side as well. So that's the problem, I think. Is it all right now?
Yes, sir.
So I was saying the technology has the potential to connect you, and it also has the potential to be misused. Your data can be stolen by operators that are against you, and sometimes it can be misused against our own citizens. At the same time, you also have multiple problems available, and some of them maybe I can mention as well. You know it very well: global warming, all kinds of pollutions, rivers not being clean enough for, and even underground water also not being clean enough for uses. Green and secured energy sources, fertile organic soil is not there. Internal, external security threats are there. Maritime security threat, aerospace security threats, cyber defense, and you can keep counting various areas where there are issues, and all these issues have to be solved by engineers only, because the engineering solutions only will lead to the good, healthy situation in our country. And I'm sure you will all agree that we cannot rely on foreigners to solve our problems. If it is our problem, we need to solve it ourselves by our own technology, because we know what is to be done best. It must have our own Indian stamp on each effort and each technology that we develop, which is very simple to say that we need to build our own capabilities and also the capacity. And when we say capacity measures, the countermeasures are also important. When you build some particular software or some particular equipment, when it fails, what happens? When it doesn't work as per the way you want, what happens? So even the counter technologies also need to be built. And as the government keeps on telling us again and again that we need to be Atmanirbhar, be self-sufficient in all spheres, whether these are technologies, whether these are thoughts, plans, actions, reactions, everything has to be driven by our own strategies. We cannot depend on somebody else. Should not look at copying what somebody else has done. We should produce what we want and what the world wants. What the Honorable Prime Minister said, make in India, make for world. So we should have that kind of capability. And there is good news about it that we are very fortunate that our country is blessed with abundance of wisdom. Right from old times to this time, we have wonderful people available here in our country. We have young manpower available, and we have wonderful natural resources also available. And to add to this, the willpower is there. Willpower in our countrymen and willpower in the government. So if all this is there, there is no reason why we cannot do it. We have to do it and we must do it. I have been visiting various educational institutions of late. Many IITs I have visited. Some of the non-IIT academic institutions also I have visited in last about 2-3 months. And wherever I go and wherever I interact with the students, it convinces me every day more and more that we have a very bright future in the hands of the young manpower that we have, the young engineers that that will be graduating, and the young science and technology people that we are going to have. When our people can do wonders in US and UK and European countries and other countries, why we cannot do it here? When there is a will to do it, we will definitely succeed. We have top ranking institutions, technology institutions in our country, and you are one of them, IIT Mandi. We have, as a country and specific to DRDO also, we have initiated multiple interdisciplinary projects with various departments and various institutions, including some of the IITs or many of the IITs. We are working, DRDO is working very, very closely with many institutions. In fact, more than 300 academic institutions we are working very closely, interacting with thousands of professors and thousands of researchers, the JRS, SRS, PhD scholars. We are working in any area that you name it, we have some foot stamp there, starting from materials, metamaterials, photonics, lasers, quantum, MEMS, green and blue hydrogen technologies, propulsion, hypersonic systems. You name the technology, we are having some footprint in one university or one IIT or one college or whatever, and we are all working together to see that all these technologies get into systems and they become Indian technologies getting into Indian systems. The list is endless. I can actually count so many of them, but there is no point in repeating here. Uh, our achievements are also significant. That is, the country's achievements are very significant with the kind of expenditure that we do as a country in R&D, the kind of rewards that we have got in terms of the successful technologies developed. They're phenomenal. Only one department that I represent, DRDO, and I can tell you 3.2 lakh crore worth of equipment has been approved for induction, only which has been developed by DRDO. Of course, they will be manufactured by various industries. So if just one organization has given the output of 3.2 lakh crore, I am sure if you put all the organizations together, it will go into many, many tens of lakhs of crores together. We are Atmanirbhar in many technologies, be they missiles, sonars, radars, torpedoes, electronic warfare systems, night vision devices, bridges, unmanned systems, and so many of them. We are one of the handful of countries having designed, developed, and delivered major weapon systems, surveillance systems like Agni, class of missiles, battle tanks, submarines, combat aircraft, AWAC, Indian aircraft carrier, and the list again is endless. We have, as a country, and I'm referring to ISRO now, we have our footprint on moon. We have our ability to build most modern satellite launch vehicles and atomic reactors. We are going to have our own astronaut traveling in our own Gaganyaan in about a year's time. Our country now has capability to deliver a light tank from drawing board to field in less than 2 years, a new aircraft, combat aircraft, in less than 5 years, and a new missile in about a year's time. And this all has been possible because the technologies have been developed within the defense R&D ecosystem, and also the Indian industry has matured. They have caught up to the world, caught up with the technology, and they have the possibility of doing all this together with DRDO on one end and the academia on the other end. So whatever are the newer challenges, DRDO and academia works together. Whatever are the challenges solved and produced and to be produced, systems to be produced, the industry and DRDO work together and produce the system. So we have a good ecosystem built over the years. You are all aware, and you would have read in the newspapers that very recently a mega export order was received by Babu, a company promoted by Department of Defense R&D, Government of India. And like that, there are so many export orders received by various organizations in the country, various PSUs and various other organizations. We are helping many countries in solving their problems, be it our department or DST or DSIR or any other department. Government is discouraging imports on one side and encouraging exports on the other side. Government has placed full confidence in the Indian ecosystem, in the Indian capabilities, whether they are in the academia or in the government laboratories or in the industry. Just for the defense, there is a target of $5 billion of export by 2025. All this will happen only if we collaborate together and we cooperate together. Startups and MSMEs are set to play a big role, and why I am talking about startups now is that some of you will become entrepreneurs when you graduate doing your BTech, and you may like to start working for the country in a different way than the usual way that we have been or the students have been doing so far, at least in our time. Startups and MSMEs that therefore they will play a big role, but how they will be enabled, that also I will about to talk about it. We have one of the most vibrant startup ecosystem, and as per CEO World Magazine, we are 5th country in the vibrancy after USA, UK, Canada, and Israel. And only on one parameter, if we improve, we can probably become number 2 or number 1, and that parameter is the technical competence of manpower. The issue is probably we are training our manpower in too many general things. So this is what we are trying to change now, and I would request Director IIT also to take note of it, and if maybe we like to take some action on that. The government has approved MTech course in defense technology. Of course, you don't need anybody's approval. If you want, you can straightway initiate with your academic council and your senate, etc. So there is a MTech in defense technology course approved by AICTE, and there are about 150, 160 odd students already doing this course in various universities and engineering colleges across the country. There are 6 verticals. They will train these students in specific technologies required by defense forces. These are the directed energy systems or materials or high energy materials and things like that. We can provide help in running it to one of our organizations. It's not our organization, it's an association of retired scientists. They can help you in providing the lectures, course material, etc. We also have a provision of 500 PhDs to be done in defense technology related areas. We will jointly identify the research areas, and the academic institutions can pick up the students, PhD fellows, and we can work together in them. They will have a facility to work in some of the DRDO labs if the topics of mutual interest are picked up. We had having many centers of excellence in various IITs, and we are going to have many more in the time to come. All this will generate manpower ready to launch their own startups and defense R&D, leading to production of most advanced and first of their kind of systems. We also provide liberal funding to startups. Today it is up to 10 crore if the idea is good, and if you can prove that this is the kind of funding required, we will be very happy to provide that kind of funding to your startup systems. Naturally, the problem has to be moved to the defense. And likewise, many other departments in the government also promote entrepreneurship in various systems. We also provide various test facilities across the country to industry on nominal charges. Our patents are free. Technology transfer fees is normal. And there are so many other ways that the government is actually encouraging the academic institutions, the students, the startups, the young entrepreneurs to get into the R&D ecosystem and produce what has not been produced so far in the world. Honorable Prime Minister has given a call for zero defect and zero effect. We need to actually work on such call and use the systems, the processes, what our government is looking for. So, my dear young engineers, most of what I have said is a call for action by engineers. There is a national will to succeed today, and we as nation have shown that during Corona time. What we did not have, what we were depending on imports, we are now having everything, whether it is ventilator or oxygen plants, everything has been done, PPE kit, sanitizers, everything has been made in this country. Even the drugs, we are the first country to make the drug for Corona, and of course the vaccines. Our technology provided protection to not only our people, Indians, but also innumerable people across the globe, which is a shining example of make for the world. Dear participants, our technology will generate not only pride in us, but also provide security, employment opportunities, and will result in wealth for the country. We need to be economically strong to take our rightful place in the community of nations. Hence, we can no longer rest in laurels of past. We have to be on the path of discoveries, developments, and innovations with ever increasing motivation and hard work. Brainstorm to get newer ideas. And Albert Einstein, I would like to quote at this point of time. He once said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." So, out of box thinking has to be done, and I am sure you will be doing that through the competitions that you are going to organize. So go create new thoughts, compete for new ideas, but remember it has to be competition to excel by your own performance and not by demotivating or becoming hindrance in the progress of the others. Even after becoming number one in your field, you need to keep innovating, you need to continue improvising and improving. We also need to constantly keep vigil on technologies coming up on the horizon for their adaptation and adaptation. So, friends, there is no alternative to being number one in the field that we have chosen for, and we need to work together, collaborate, and coordinate with each one of us. So, my best wishes to the organizers and compliments to director for the wonderfully conceived program. Congratulations once again. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. We are honored and privileged to have you among us.
Now we would like to walk you through the different events that all the clubs of SNTC have put together. Wires and Wonders, an IoT simulation and ideation event involving five themes. Agriculture, IoT for art, IoT for space technology, and IoT for security and safety. Visionverse, an ML based event sponsored by Upfairs, is virtual monitoring crop cycle to assist farmers. Galactic Eye, a joint venture of Robotronics Club, Yantrik Club, and Stack IIT Mandi, to build an automatic observatory to increase the interest of the commons in field of astronomy and astrophysics.
Somehow I manage, an event presented by the ESL of IIT Mandi, which ignites the spark of a CEO inside of us and triggers our managerial skills. Yantrik Club presents a 3D modeling competition, Air Velo, a contest in which one must design a vehicle with its different components that can be used commercially. Command Prompt Bioengineering Club presents Epidemic, a modeling and simulation competition where teams address data acquisition, pre-positioning, subsequent modeling, and inferential analysis of situations during a simulated epidemic in a realistic population to predict the type and timing of preventive interventions ahead of time.
Metro in Hills, an event in which participants will get an immersive experience of being a true engineer by solving a transportation problem in challenging terrain. Pitch Terra, Command Bioengineering Group, in association with Research Aid Instruments and Service, presents to you Pitch Terra, an opportunity to showcase your entrepreneurial insight in a startup pitching competition where participants will be solving a particular environmental problem with the help of biotechnology and turn it into a startup. DEBZ. Stack in association with Newton School, DEBZ has put forward DEBZ, an event which will assist participants in honing their analytical abilities and pitching their ideas in order to audit a cost-effective and long-term solution for space debris disposal.
Seleno is an astronomy-based hackathon presented by Stack and Newton School, aiming to help participants to start their journey of computational astronomy and astrophysics. Rachna is for all young enthusiasts who wish to show off their civil engineering drawing talents to the rest of the tech world by unraveling problem statements as per requirement using AutoCAD. A Nirman Club parametric design competition, Archcami, which makes you unravel the inner architect on a piece of paper and model a temporary living structure using origami paper. Dementia, an intercollegiate programming contest by Command Prompt, wherein individual participants will be presented with problems to code out.
Xeon CTF, an event to simulate our hacker skills and work in teams to collect flags through the gamified journey of learning cybersecurity and implementing them on solving problems based on cryptography, cyber forensics, and web exploits. FrostHack, an innovation-based hackathon where individual participants will be given real-life problems to solve. This event is sponsored by Biston, Mentorx, Hover Robotics, and Echo 3D.
We will also be hosting Keynote Talks, which I would like to briefly introduce to you. We will kickstart the talks with our esteemed director, Dr. Laxmidhar Behara, who will enlighten us about holistic science and technology. Then we will have Dr. Ramit Sani, engineering manager at Tower Research Capital, who will be talking to us about getting started with AI research. Next, we will have Mr. Pratik Gupta, founder of Strong Motors, who will be verbalizing his thoughts on decluttering the electric vehicle boom. Then we have Mr. Atan Roy Chaudhary, founder of Capsule Labs, who will walk us through his and many other founder stories and will also entertain an open discussion on entrepreneurship.
I'm proud and honored to also present to you a brief welcoming note of the webinars to be held during the fest, starting with Mr. Abhishek Mitra, CEO and founder of Indian Cyber Security Solutions, and Mr. Sid, cybersecurity analyst at Indian Cyber Security Solutions, with their expertise would help us in understanding the dynamics of cybersecurity in cyberspace. Next, we have Rohit Goyal, co-founder of Mudrex, and Saurabh Kumar, head of growth and partnership at Mudrex, who would be walking us through the world of Web3, the present scenario and the future projection. And finally, Mr. Kiranjeet Pathak, a postgraduate in tourism and basic mountaineering and wilderness first respondent, currently working with India Trek, would be speaking to us about wilderness-based experimental learning program. In order to provide an all-round experience, the fest also includes inclusive workshops, starting starting with RPA, Robotic Process Automation by IIT Mandi, and one organized by our associate sponsor, Mudrex.
Living it up to the more refreshing, fun events of the fest, let us start with Terrific Trails, a scavenger hunt centered on problem solving in which the plot progresses as you solve issues and uncover clues.
Reelology, the event where you bring out your inner influencer and show off your creative skills by creating Instagram reels centered around science and technology.
No fuel, no engine, just an A4 sheet folded into a plane. Foldable Flight is an exhilarating event in which the participants compete to toss the longest flight. Today, we sow the seeds of prospering enthusiasm and an appetite for robotics and automation with our upcoming humanoid show, a futuristic robot that aesthetically resembles humans and mimics every small and big human motion and interaction, from breakdancing like the king of pop to flexing his muscles like Superman. Additionally, we introduce to you the Nano drone flying zone, in which we get to see this little micro-manned aerial drone which flips and turns through loops, and many exciting exhibits of breathtaking acts.
Finally, we could not have put together our first independent tech fest without the generous support of our associate sponsor, Mudrex, our gold sponsors, IIT Mandi Catalyst, IIT Mandi iHub, and HCI Foundation, and IEEE Robotics and Automation Society. Our bronze sponsors, Indian Cyber Security Solutions and India Trade.
Honorable event sponsors, Upflares, Newton School, Hover Robotics, MentorX, Echo 3D. Music partner 9XM, coding partner Geeks for Geeks, knowledge partner Bookty, food and beverages partner Blue Pine Foods, credential partner True Scholar, and media partners Amarajala and the Global Hues, and several individual sponsors which also include our IIT Mandi alumni.
As the curtain falls on the inauguration ceremony of Xpecto, I would like to invite our convener, Lalit Mudgal, for the closing note.
A special thanks to chief guest, and thank you everyone for joining the inauguration ceremony of Xpecto. And thanks to all the heads, volunteers who have worked really hard till now to make this fest successful. More than 200 people have worked dedicatedly for past few months. Now with your support, we could get more than 6,000 registrations till now. Pre-events have already started, and we have got a huge response there as well. Now what we expect from you for next 3 days. For next 3 days, we want you to actively participate in the talk, follow updates on our social media, attend the events, shows, and workshops. As described earlier, we have events from almost all the disciplines of science and technology. Every one of you is associated in one or the other event. Either you are interested in science of computers or humans, we have events for you. If you want to have fun, we also have fun events like foldable flights and terrific trails. This fest is for you and only for you. Also, in the evening, if you can roam around in the village square to witness our different stalls set up by different organizations. Also, make sure to capture aesthetic pictures at our photo booths and tag us on Instagram at xpecto.tech. Now, concluding today's function with a thrilling trailer of the festival, which will give you a gist of the fest in a minute. Now, in the end, I would like to thank you. Thank you. You have been a lovely audience.